I'm like, man, are you serious? And then I thought about it, and I'm like, it has to be this way. It's a mega triumph.
There is just nothing like winning the first time when you have your child there. When you don't win, that pressure ramps way up.
You don't want to close out this stretch dragging.
You can say what you want, but the primary focus is winning that championship. That championship adds a whole nother layer to his legacy. Welcome to Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, presented by NASCAR on Fox. I'm Kevin Harvick. She's Caitlin Vinci. And he's our lead Patriots fan, Mamba Smith.
Patriots fan, yeah.
Camp is back in session.
I convinced him to wear the hat. I thought it looked good. He wasn't originally going to wear it.
No.
Good choice.
You're kind of like your team, last place.
First of all,
oh,
no, we
man,
were. No, the Jets
right
were
out of the gate.
No, I think we were last.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to clarify on what Kevin's referring to, there's a new second place on the standings for the picks.
Listen, it doesn't matter anyway until we get to the playoffs. My
Doesn't
pick
matter
was
anyway?
fire.
I mean, it didn't matter when you lost Tom Brady either. You just haven't won since.
Okay, calm down. Now you're getting deep. Now you're starting to cut deep. That
cut
hurts.
deep.
That hurts.
Did you really think you were going to keep winning?
After?
Yeah.
I mean, we went to the playoffs one time after.
You did.
Yeah, we did.
But nobody really even notices anymore.
No, but this year we got Drake May, Huntersville boy. We got Mike Vraves back.
Huntersville?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, no. We're nice. How the Panthers doing?
I don't know. I just go to the game.
he just sits in the
Not
gallery.
actually a fan.
I just go to the game to drink beer and eat hot dogs.
That's fine. That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, they're a great part of the community, and I like the Panthers, and I like the team, and I like everything. But I'm not really biased to anybody.
That's
It's about the experience of the game,
it's
right?
about the experience.
Real quick before Caitlin has to do those whole rundown. One, I like your shoes.
Oh, thank you.
The shoes are nice.
Yes.
And two, I like that you're back with the glasses.
I do.
Glasses,
too.
Kevin is back.
I got a new prescription, and let's just say that my contacts weren't great. So I got these glasses to see if they would help.
Yeah.
And I think they're just going to make me sick.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think I'm actually going to have to go back to the eye doctor. Well, they've got these little progressive things in the bottom.
Oh, it's making you dizzy?
No, it just makes me want to throw up. So if I throw up during the show,
Well,
God,
that'll be a
please
first.
let that happen.
You
You'll know
sneezed
why.
last week. This week we've upgraded to vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attaboy. Baby steps. We're working our way up the ladder.
That's right.
Welcome into episode 50. We're bringing in the heat here today on Kevin Harvick's
Hopefully
Happy
we don't
Hour.
make them throw up.
Yeah, we don't want to make you guys throw up. We have plenty to talk about. Leaving Indianapolis, full weekend of racing out in IRP and Indy. We preview what's coming up next, which is Iowa. And you've got, I had to think for a second. And you've got your sips.
Yep. We got sips. Yeah, we got sips. Make sure that in the closures, again, you guys are everywhere. And it's amazing.
Yes.
It never ceases to amaze me how when we show up to a racetrack, everyone's like, hey, man, love you on the show.
Hey, man.
Love Mamba Sips. I know you love Mamba Sips. I appreciate it.
They don't say that. No way
I
they
will
say that. No,
twice this weekend, someone asked me where he was.
Really?
Where's Mamba? Is he going to be here? Because I had to do a bunch of interviews at the Chevy stage.
Yep.
And there were some inquiries about
it was the same in Colorado. I mean, everywhere we go race the late model, it's the same.
11,000 people out there?
We had 11,300
Yeah, how was that?
people at Colorado National Speedway show up this weekend.
That's more than the Xfinity race.
Yeah, well, we can go
Sorry.
there. But I think it's pretty amazing to just see the enthusiasm from the short track crowds and people in these pockets of the country that a lot of people would say there are no NASCAR fans. There are a lot of NASCAR fans everywhere.
Yeah.
And, another NASCAR weekly track that we raced at in conjunction with the Cars Tour West out there this weekend. So we had ran a super late model this weekend. So we had 21 super late models, 39 legend cars.
Wow.
That's wild.
Big
Yeah.
field.
Yeah. So we go back, we didn't let Keelan race. I didn't think he'd be ready to drive the super, so I made him go with me this weekend and work on my car.
How was that?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
He needs to work on the car.
He likes working on them too.
Yeah.
At Joe Ryan's spot, that's kind of part of what he has the kids all do is work a lot on their own stuff, and Keelan's done that.
We'll take him back. We go back to Colorado in 3 weeks to run the pro late model race. So great atmosphere, great promoters, owners of the racetrack. I mean, it's 30 minutes from Denver.
Oh,
That's
so
really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it
really
was that
close. Really close to the Denver airport. The place has been there forever, and it's went to asphalt in the mid 80s and, has packed the house with people since then. So had a great race with Buddy Shepard, who won the super late model race, another Bakersfield kid. His dad used to actually give me all the paint and paint all of our cars back in the day. So it's just funny how that full circle stuff works in our sport, but we're having fun.
That's good. Kevin had a good weekend, and you and I were out at Indy. How was your time there?
Man, it was great. Had a great 5 weeks with the broadcast and with the alt cast with Larry and Jeff Burton. That was super fun. And then just getting more experience on that, doing all that stuff, and being around the racetrack. And people, they conversate with you different when you're in the different roles. So it's different than I'm on, when I'm doing driver intros and when I'm doing the more broadcast role and we're tapping into this journalism and the conversations are different. And so that's really fun to kind of see both sides. And I've never been to Indy for a NASCAR race.
I can't believe
for a cup race. So it was really cool.
Indy is an unbelievable place. I wish they wouldn't run the Xfinity cars there. I think that Indy's one of those prestigious places. The road course was awful there.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Our cars are meant to be on the oval and competing for a prestigious event like that. I'm glad they went back to the oval. And I still don't believe that the Xfinity cars need to be at the big track. I think that Xfinity cars need to be back at IRP and racing with the trucks and everything that happens over there. Go back to that traditional style of weekend so you don't water it down. And, I believe that when you have that Saturday race, it kind of takes away from the Sunday race. It kind of waters the weekend down. And we had a little break from IRP there back in the day when whatever disagreement they had with the track and NASCAR and then they wound up at the big track. So I don't believe they should be there. I think that they'd put on a better show. They put on a great show anyway.
Yeah.
They're going to put on a great show anywhere most of the time. But I just don't think that I think that IRP is a better place for them with the Xfinity car.
It is, and the track is one of every race car driver's favorite racetracks.
This is so true.
And you look forward to going to IRP, and then it makes you look forward to trying to make it to Sunday.
Yeah,
because you don't get to race at the big track unless you're there on Sunday. So I think if we could go back to that model, I think it'd be better for the drivers, the teams, and the fans. I think everyone.
And it's not like the TV isn't going to change. It isn't going to change the TV numbers. And, I think that sponsors and TV had too much to do with the Xfinity cars going to the Brickyard. I think that NASCAR just needs to say, hey, you guys need to be back at IRP because they're going to get 10, 15,000 fans. It was always just a packed house, standing room only. And, I believe that the prestige of Indy belongs at the very top level.
I was at IRP, obviously, this weekend for the ARCA truck double. And you guys said how much I was going to enjoy it. It was very cool. And to your point, every driver I interviewed was like, this is one of our favorite places to come because you have so many options on the racetrack. So they put on a great show, had a really big crowd as well. So yes, I endorse all of your statements on that. What about the endorsement for Bubba Wallace? What an incredible statement when he had out at the Brickyard. Beat one of the best as well to get that done. It was a very, very special moment.
Gosh, it started raining and I'm thinking to myself, man, something's going to go wrong right here. And it's going to just kind of put a stop to what has been a really good day. Great strategy call from atop the pit box and putting themselves in position to get that track position and have the lead and all the things that they had. I know Logano had a flat tire there, but I still believe that he was probably going to get by. His car was fast.
He was fast. He qualified second.
And you really got to realize how fast his car was on those last couple restarts against Kyle Larson. I mean, it wasn't even hard for him to just drive by him in turn one. So, and you saw the emotion and how much pressure is on Bubba Wallace and the pressure that is on him to win, driving for Michael Jordan, everything that he has to go through personally with that. But I think a lot of the emotion, he did look tired after the race.
He was gassed.
But I think there was a lot of emotion there, a lot of a relief for him getting back to victory lane, but having his son there.
Oh, those pictures.
And when I talked to Bubba this morning, I said, man, there is just nothing like winning the first time when you have your child there in victory lane. It's different. Who you are as a person is different. how you react, your emotions, everything is different. And I think that in his interview, you really saw all that emotion that he had a tough time handling and didn't really know what to say. But I think that so many emotions going through, Bubba Wallace's mind with that and ending a 100-race win streak. That's not fun to go through when you have to answer that question week after week after week. And with the lawsuit and everything that's happening at 2311, a lot of people, even us, we've talked about, is it bothering them? Is it affecting the race team? Is it having is it a detriment to their performance because neither one of them had been to victory lane.
Right.
And now you end all that 4 weeks before the playoffs and put yourself in the playoffs.
So I know you spent some time with him to celebrate the win. What else?
Oh, you were there.
Kind of say, yeah, he went
Yeah.
when he landed.
Oh, boy.
But what did you guys talk about?
It was really cool. It was a really surreal moment. Like, excited for the 2311 group. They were ecstatic about it. I was actually right because Ty Gibbs' pit stall was right next to Bubba's. So while I was covering the bracket challenge, like I got to watch that and everyone's emotion. And when it started to rain down there in turn one, I was just like, I'm like, man, are you serious? And then I thought about it and I'm like, it has to be this way. It has to be this way because of all the things. It's a mega triumph. And the way, every time he runs well, he's easy, Mike. Calm down over
Sorry,
there.
Mike.
Every time he runs well, people try to pull it away for some reason. It's not just him. They do it for a lot of guys. Oh, well, it's because of this or because of that. This was pure. This was
straight up
2 restarts against the best driver in the world on one of the biggest stages in the world, and you get it done. And now, to me, the guy that everyone loved when he was running trucks and on his way up through Xfinity, like that guy's about to be back.
Yeah.
Like the pressure of winning on a big stage is over because winning at Kansas, fire, right? It's a win. But when you win a crown jewel like this against the best.
And I think the capability of speed is there. We saw it at the beginning of the season. They've had
faster,
flashes, from the first 7 or 8 races in between now and then. But they hadn't been that same team that we saw the first 6 or 7 weeks. And that's the trick. How do you do it every week, right? We talk about William Byron, we talk about Christopher Bell a lot. Those guys that can't seem to put together a whole season to be consistently fast or figuring things out to get finishes week after week after week. And now that's on Bubba and his team, right? It goes from one pressure to another. The expectation, and they have it too, is to win. And we all thought he was going to win early. Took a lot longer than we thought, but they've had the speed on occasions that they need. But it's just these guys got to figure out how to do what Denny Hamlin does, right? And that's the difference between Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell. Denny Hamlin can figure out how to start last and race for the win by the end of the day with the strategy and the things that they do. So these guys, Bubba, Byron, even Blaney,
and even
a lot of the younger guys, Chase Briscoe. Chase Elliott does it pretty good.
Yep.
I mean, as bad as he ran yesterday, they came back and had a solid finish. And that's what Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin do better than everybody else is they grind out those days when they're not doing good or something goes wrong and they have to rebound. And that's what those other guys haven't figured out how to do yet. And I think a lot of that is experience.
Yeah, when you have like Chase Elliott running like he did at Dover, then you back that up with a Bubba Wallace, like the guys that are younger that are starting to take over are starting to
up here.
Figure it out.
It's in your head. And it's time management. It really is. It's time management and dealing with all the things that you have to deal with as a Cup driver. And how can you show up week after week if you're having a bad day, if you've had a bad week, if there's controversy in the media, if there's all these different things that can affect what you do, if you're not feeling like what you need to feel like, your preparation is bad. How can you show up at all those moments of preparation and all those meetings and get the information in that small period of time during the week and at the racetrack week after week after week? And that's the difference between the Denny Hamlins of the world.
I will say too, when he came across the line and he won, that place erupted.
I was gonna say the same thing.
A lot
of support.
There was some booze, but like not what you would think based off of driver intros every week.
And it was,
there was a lot of
a
excitement.
lot of competitors coming by.
Oh,
That's
to
the cool
congratulate
part.
him.
The competitors. And that we go back to that little clique of guys, right? That have all come up together when you talk about Bubba and Blaney and Chase, Elliott,
Reddick
and Reddick, all these guys. And you see, and they know the pressure. They know the pressure that's on Bubba. And really the same pressure is on Tyler Reddick, right? Yeah. Like it's on him too. He hasn't won. But when you don't win, that pressure ramps way up. And when it's been a couple years, the pressure is even higher when you're one of those marquee guys. And so you saw the respect that they had for Bubba and the things that you witnessed after the race with all the congratulations of door slams and things like that.
Saw a lot of respect from Kyle Larson because I interviewed him because he was the runner-up, and he was very complimentary of what Bubba Wallace did, saying how hard he's worked. He seemed genuinely really happy for him getting this win. But 2 weeks in a row now, we've seen Kyle Larson with the top 5 performance. Do you think they've weathered the storm?
I think that they're back on track. I think that it's a lot like we saw last year. I don't think they have the speed advantage like they had at the beginning of the year last year or the beginning of the year this year. I think that for whatever reason, their cars are always better prepared at the beginning of the season. They're still well prepared at the end of the year, but they don't have that advantage that it seems like they have to start the seasons with the the speed that they seem to have. So I think that's as good as Larson has run in a while and was a contender all day, and they had good strategy and all those things. That's a great team. I mean, Cliff and that whole team on Larson's car do a great job. So they've righted the ship, but can they do it when it counts?
I'm sure he was happy to leave Indianapolis in a good mood.
Yeah, golly, I'm sure he was. It kind of I'm thinking about his one of his teammates, William Byron. Because the speed, like you talk about speed, like he's had the speed. Their problem has been
mistakes,
finishing. Yeah, right. Not the lack of raw speed. And so I ran into Rudy, his crew chief, this weekend, and I was just talking. I'm like, I feel like you guys have had a good year with your car. Like all the cars are. He's like, yeah, man, we're doing like our preparation, our process. We like our process. We like where we're at there. We just got to finish it out. And he's like, William is in a better place mentally with the things that are important to him and all the things that you talk about, Kevin, about the off-track stuff.
The circle of life.
His circle is the best that it's been. So even though they've been struggling to finish him off, he's staying up here.
And that's the thing that's hard to do, right? Because you're going to have people like us that are going to critique your finishes and the things that happen with. Are you paying attention to that? Can you weather the storm? Can you do like the 5 team has done and just not pay attention to all the chatter? Are you reading your own headlines? You don't want to read your own headlines. You don't want to be sucked into. You have to stay so out of touch with everything that's happening to a certain extent. You have to be in touch, but out of touch enough to not let it bother you.
Right.
And that's a tough
hard balance. Yeah.
It's a tough balance.
It needs to drive you, not
this
bother
cup
you.
driver thing is a tough mental balance, and the grind is just so hard when you want to go hang out with your friends or go do something, or you're not running good and you don't want to go to the simulator, you're mad at your teammates, whatever it is. It's just it's a tough grind to be able to do it well. When you show up every week.
Speaking of mental toughness, one team that stands out to me from the weekend is Denny Hamlin, who obviously had an incident in qualifying. Team had to go to a backup car. I was there till probably almost 8. They were still there working on that car. It was fast. He said it wasn't as fast as the primary, but I feel like this is a testament of the strength of the whole team.
It is. And I think that obviously this was somewhat of a strategy race. And I think Chris Gale and those guys made good calls. They put him in position, made a couple bold decisions there in the middle of the race to put themselves in a position at the end. But I think with Denny re-signing, obviously he re-signed with Joe Gibbs Racing, and I think that's out of the way. We're going to be. He's heading into. He already knows where he stands from the legal problems that they have at 2311, and they know where that battle is headed. Right, like that's headed to December. Those are the things that are going to happen. That is what it is, it seems like at this point. Last year when we started the playoffs, this whole thing unleashed. And
it was
visible bad deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just it was a bad situation for Denny right at the start of the playoffs, race number 1 at Atlanta last year. I don't believe we're going to go through that, and just that consistency that they have, and the things that if the bottom doesn't fall out in the middle of the playoffs, his experience level and the chemistry with the team right now, they're going to be tough to beat week in and week out in the playoffs.
They seem bound and determined this weekend.
Yeah, it seems like every time Denny has something positive happen, like off track, it seems like the next week
dumb thing
something
happens.
like a wreck and
we're on a roll of positives here for Denny, and we've got Iowa, the Glen, Richmond, Daytona left, headed into the playoffs. If we can just keep the wheels on it for 4 weeks without any crazy news that he has to deal with outside of what he's already dealing with, he's already pretty good at dealing with it. He's gonna have a chance when we get to the end of the year.
They lost the major sponsor left that he's had for
ever.
And it's been piecing everything back together. And the crew chief changed. So they've been piecing everything back together, and it seems like it's starting to get right at the right time. They got the Progressive partner, that's a big, sexy sponsor. Now they just added Bob's Discount Furniture, which is another one. Like, they're starting to, it feels like the comfort is for their group is
I was thinking that when I was listening to their radio, just the comfort level, like you said, between him and Chris Gale, there's a lot of trust.
Yeah,
I hear a lot of trust.
You can say what you want, but the primary focus is winning that championship.
Winning the freaking chip.
His legacy is going to be great regardless of whether he wins it. But the determination to win that championship is the primary focus, whether he says it or not. And whether he wins 60 or 80 races, whatever that number is, doesn't matter. That championship adds a whole nother layer to his legacy. And they're in as good a position as they've ever been to go out and do that right now.
Yes, they are. So we're talking about Joe Gibbs Racing driver. What about Chase Briscoe, who was Mamba Smith's pick here? He had a stage 1 winner, led a lot of laps. Feels like a missed opportunity, though, for this team after they ended up having to pit with, 6 to go?
Yeah. Like maybe even less.
Right? A missed opportunity here for that team?
Yeah, well, they've missed I think that it's a really young team. I think that you see the speed with qualifying, you see the speed with him going to victory lane and all the things that they've done. But that's still the difference between 11 and 19, right? Between Denny Hamlin's team and Chase Briscoe's team, they're going to be more inconsistent and not have the wins in the win column. But they have the capability of figuring that out. I think that the potential of that team is pretty high, and they aren't even a year in. So I know the expectations, and I know that there are missed opportunities. But when you get 2 or 3 years down the road, I think that chemistry of what they are and who they are and their potential is right there with championship caliber. Are they championship caliber team? Yes. Are they championship winners this year? No. Just because of the inconsistency.
You know that he has sat on the pole for all 3 of the Crown Jewel events this year so far?
Yeah. The qualifying has definitely been a huge strong suit for the group.
The qualifying, and it makes your day better, right?
Oh, for sure.
Because you're getting stage points and you got a good pit stall, and it prevents a lot of things. They've got all the makings of being a great team and already are, doing great things. It's just championship great things are different than just doing them sporadically. Yeah. And it's becoming more consistent. But it's just being able to put all those pieces together and put yourself in a position to win those races all the time is hard.
I saw him when he got out of the car. He was standing by it, and this one stings a lot. It hurts because it was they were really fast.
Indiana.
They got it's a home race. He had an opportunity. Not only obviously it stings to win, but then insult to injury, they didn't even get a great finish, right? Because they were in the top 5. So. It is what it is. Like, how many times that happened to Tony? You know what I mean? How many close ones at Indy did he have? So,
well, it's really the first opportunity he's had to compete for that win legitimately.
Yep.
He's done it in the Xfinity car, but going the wrong direction.
It's different. It's different here.
Wrong way. We're talking about Joe Gibbs Racing. Let's transition to Team Penske. We saw 2 of their teams have right rear tire issues. Austin Cindric was leading. Joey Logano would have probably assumed the lead once the guys in front of him pitted. Actually, girl too. Catherine Legg was in front of him.
Yeah.
I gotta check myself.
Hang on now.
You're gonna go there. I mean,
Yeah.
she did it.
Hey.
She did a great job.
She did.
I was super impressed with. I've been super impressed with the progression of her and her performance. And I think after the way that it started, I think everybody had a lot of questions of, is this just a gimmick? But she continues to get better. And I think that when you see a finish like this on an oval, we're going in the right direction. So kudos to her and her team for what they did.
Probably the most comfortable at Indianapolis out of all the racetracks that we go to, just because she's been there before.
Yes.
The other one she's never been to before or been in the car, right? So at least there was that little bit of comfort, and that goes a long way. And they did a great job on their strategy. And like that team isn't like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like they are a underfunded backmarker team. So for them to find a way to run right there and not just get their doors blown off.
And I think this is Catherine Legg is a prime example of the flaws in our testing system. And being able, you see how hard it is to develop a Cup driver with how difficult the car is to drive. And I'd really like, for the rookies and the younger drivers to be able to get on the racetrack more. I know that the teams don't want to test and they don't want to do this. The teams don't want to do anything. They don't want to do anything to spend money, right. And that's a fact.
That's a fact.
And the teams are the biggest holdup in the progression of changing things, whether it be rules and things like that, because of the authority that they have through the charter agreements. So, I think NASCAR would change more things if the teams would agree to do that. But the testing policy is another piece of that puzzle that I wish they would adjust a little bit for the rookies and the younger people to have some more of those test sessions. Even if NASCAR says, hey, we're going to have rookie test sessions at 4 tracks for whatever days it is, I think that people like Catherine, Riley Herbst, Jesse Love, all these young kids, as much different as these cars are to drive compared to, even if they took it from the more experienced guys and made it some of the tire tests or restructured the testing policy so that it was for the younger drivers to get more developed. I think it would be beneficial for the sport so that it doesn't take 3 years to get your Cup driver developed. You're just going out there and doing it by racing, and some of them lose their job before they even get started.
Yeah. And we were talking about Catherine. I did get to interview her actually because she was running both races, running double duty. And like what you were saying, she feels like NASCAR's been very welcoming, but she has read and seen all the criticism and, all of the people who were skeptical of her at first. And she's taking it really serious, like the time and effort to improving. She did say, like, I feel this is going to be one of my best places because of all of her prior experience.
And I think that the criticism was well-deserved and fair. But I also think that the kudos are well-deserved and fair, too.
Exactly.
We say keep that same energy on. Yeah. If you're gonna talk about it when it's bad, talk about it when I do good.
That's right.
That's all.
Yeah.
Just be fair. And, I think that both sides of the fence were well-deserved, whether it was the criticism or the kudos.
I think she's taking it in stride. She wants to be here, and
you're going to have to take some criticism because you're going to screw some stuff up.
Everybody does.
You're going to jump on hoods and you're going to crash cars.
Oh, you're going to jump on hoods? I don't know if everyone jumps on hoods.
Well, I'm trying to, I know how this goes. I'm trying to relate that I screwed a lot of things up too. But because I screwed a lot of things up and did a lot of things right, I can sit here and give that criticism
there you go.
On both sides of the fence.
That's right.
So I want to go back to Joey Logano for a minute because it just seems like this program has been off in the recent weeks, I would say. And then things kind of going from bad to worse. You had the tire, then no power, then ultimately broken upper control arm.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not in a position that they were last year at this point from a speed standpoint, handling all the things above. They were much more in tune with the performance than they last year than they are this year. So, but we did see Josh Berry up there at the end of that race.
First time in a while.
Cinder leading some laps off of strategy. I think the strategy kind of misleads us a little bit at this particular racetrack. But, the 22 was kind of a tail end of the top 10 car. And
he took the 2 tires.
Yeah. But that was how this race went. So, I expect those guys to do pretty well at Iowa, though. I think that obviously Blaney
He
did pretty good there last year, and
he did all right.
Yeah, he did okay. But it's an important 4 weeks. But I don't think that much relates to. They're going to be good at Daytona, which they'll be good at Talladega in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Watkins Glen, I don't know.
I'm worried about them at Richmond.
Yeah,
they haven't.
I think they'll be okay at Richmond.
Yeah,
I think their short track stuff will be okay. But my point is, I don't know how much this reads into Kansas and some of the playoff tracks that we have. Vegas, but I think the short track stuff, which Martinsville,
Gateway, they've been
Gateway.
The team.
There are some good tracks for them in the playoffs, but it's hard to get a read on where they actually are from a performance standpoint right now.
Well, I mean, like you said, you don't want to close out this stretch dragging ass, right? You want to go into the playoffs.
You need some momentum.
You don't want to back into the playoffs. That's not great.
It's not a great.
On the flip side of that, because we talked about the other three, the 12 stole a stage, and then they were like not out back. They're like 19th, and somehow he finished like 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
I said, Ryan, how'd you do that? He goes, brother, I have no idea.
Well, and when you look at that, I mean, that's kind of how this race went. Todd Gilliland finished 6th. Yeah. And you look up, Josh Berry took the green flag, restarted 4th, and he wound up finishing 22nd. So, I mean, there was a lot of that stuff moving around at the end with the way that all those restarts went.
You know who I hate it for at the end of that race was Zane Smith.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Like, that was a pretty solid run for them.
And did you watch that video?
I watched it like 8 times, and I'm like, off a rip, I'm like, wow, he just wrecked him. Which he did just wreck him, but like, that's so out of character for Seatbelt move. I think he missed it.
I think he misjudged the front of his car and was going to cross him over or get behind him and just hooked him. And, I don't, that's what it looked like to me. It didn't look like Austin Hill, right?
Oh, brother. Oh. Can we talk about that for a second?
Absolutely.
Hey, blue collar team there.
Listen,
sir.
This is when I watched it live, right? I'm like, ooh, 19, Almirola, he just kind of bump and run the 21, which at the big track at Indy, like that seems treacherous by itself, right? And then my man, so he had an axe to grind, and he should have just fallen back in,
moved him in the next one.
Yeah, like just stay there, like go get on his door, whatever, bro. You hook him. And then you try to act like you didn't do it on purpose when the car takes a set, and then all of a sudden it hooks left. Like,
yeah, and so
180.
When I look back at all this right rear hooking, we've seen what happened to Bubba Wallace when he hooked.
Chase Elliott
when he hooked in the right rear. NASCAR 100% dropped the ball on Austin Cindric at COTA. And where they're going wrong, and I've said this on here before, when Austin Cindric hooked Ty Dillon at COTA, and they did the exact same thing wrong at Indy. That you should just park them, put them in the garage, park them. Day's over. That's the penalty. And I think that not calling that call at COTA gives Richard Childress's argument of who you are a little bit of merit, because they didn't officiate it correctly at that particular time. Now we do a 5-lap penalty, and when you do that right rear hook, you park them. That's what you got to do. When you know it's blatant, just park them. And I think that in this situation, they did 5 laps, and I'm sure that he'll probably get a week off. But where they draw themselves into criticism is when they don't do it correctly, like they didn't do it the first time in COTA this year. But that needs to be what happens with this Austin Hill situation. Because it's just, you can't have it. There's too many ways, and you heard Almirola talk about it afterwards. He's like, that's as hard as I've ever hit. It felt just like I did when I broke my back. And that's the things that you don't want. So I understand Richard Childress's frustration about COTA, and I agree with him on NASCAR dropping a call at COTA, but you should just park them for the race. And then you take care of the rest of it on during the week next week. But being inconsistent is where all the criticism will come from.
Yeah, the RCR group, right? Ty drives for colleague, but he's obviously family, and you look after them. They've been on the bad side of those calls 3 times in a row. Every time they've been involved, so now for them it's probably, even if they were in the wrong, it's probably starting to feel a little personal when it's, you know what I mean? So, but with Austin's deal, like, bro, you've been in these situations multiple times.
Yeah.
And so like now you don't get the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
Right. So that's why and then it was just too much. It was over the top.
That was way over the top.
180 miles an hour. That's not how we don't.
We will have to see if there's any further repercussions for Austin Hill following that incident. Next up, guys, though, is Iowa. How do you think this is all going to go? There's not a whole lot of data or anything we can even look
I love
at.
Iowa.
I
was
do
a great
too.
track.
Kevin mentioned it. Ryan Blaney won the race there last year, the only one the Cup Series has had. So what do you think we're in store for this weekend?
It's a cool, awesome short track.
It's awesome.
And, you know, I think that the fans will come out and support it. I think that they enjoy the Cup cars and the way that they race at Iowa. So, you know, I think that the drivers like it. We didn't really know what would happen with the asphalt. The way that they repaved it was kind of goofy.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, and it took away
patchy.
that third and fourth lane of racing because of the fact that new asphalt had grip. But it was a pretty good race last year. And I don't think it'll be any different this year. It's a rough, unique short track. And so it'll be fun to watch them go back to Iowa. I always enjoyed that track. And, you know, it was, you know, a place that I look forward to going to.
It's one of those tracks that as a younger driver, when you're trying to figure out your pathway and how you can get some experience at a bigger track, that's always one that was on the list.
Yeah.
Because it was under that mile length. So you could get an ARCA race, a truck race, and an Xfinity race there. So it was a really important track for younger guys. And so I think that's why, similar to IRP, that's why I think the younger guys have an affinity for some of those places. I think I hope we all learned when last year, it wasn't like the stands were packed, right? It was packed out, but it wasn't like it held 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
There's
nothing wrong with that. If you want, make it must be at event. So
That's right.
like if you like, dang, they need more grandstands in there.
Yeah.
Then maybe you should buy your ticket early.
Right.
That's
Because
right.
you know the
ensure
event
that
is
you're
that,
going,
that
yes.
is that cool.
First time I went to Iowa was, I think it was 2007. They had me come run the ARCA race there. I think it was K&N at the time.
Yeah,
so it was
K&N.
an East-West race that was combined.
Yeah, that was a big race.
Yeah, and it was sold out. And that was the first time that I got to race against Joey Logano. We had a great race. Mine was on 7 cylinders, and he would blow by me down the straightaway, and my car was so fast through the corners. But it wound up being an awesome race, and so that was actually the first time that I got to race against Joey, and we had a good race.
That place is it gives me a little bit of Field of Dreams vibes when you're because the corn and like the fans can sit over in 3 and 4 on the grassy hill there. I'm like, man, this is like hometown trail tracks.
Vibes. Yeah,
cool.
good vibes going on Des Moines.
And good little dive bar scene down in Des Moines too.
Yes, indeed, Miller High Life Lounge.
Let's not forget that that Michael McDowell planted Ross Chastain this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That did occur.
Let's see how that develops as we go through the next few weeks.
Those two guys are not
weeks.
scared to
Express
their emotions.
Yeah.
Outside of the
Michael didn't like getting blocked, so he just sent him. Boop. Yep, you're gone.
4 races to go. It'll be interesting to see the cut line once we leave Iowa because business is moving around there on that line. Time now, though, for what you got.
Is it? No, sorry. I just wanted to.
I thought you had a booger.
No.
Yeah.
I was like, hang on, real quick. Junior Motorsports 100th win.
Yes.
Congratulations to them.
Big win.
A big win.
Awesome.
Connor Zilic. I mean, it probably was going to be Justin Allgaier, and I feel bad because he's been the cornerstone of the company, but, you know, they got it done. And then Corey Heim, your guy, he is the regular season champ already.
Locked it up.
After this week. So
you called it. He was 80 million points ahead.
Yeah.
Brother, you better finish this thing out.
Corey Heim. Yep. Yeah. Good props there to the other series, of course. All right. Why don't you get us some sips there, my friend?
Sorry. Welcome, friends.
Welcome.
Welcome, one and all.
To Mamba's Social Sips, the world-renowned segment of the Kevin Harvick Happy Hour podcast.
Slappy sip.
Yeah, it got slappy sips here.
So, I'm
last place, Larry.
Something that calm down over here.
Yeah.
Something that we are excited about that just got dropped. We talk about the schedule all the time around here.
Yes, we
NASCAR is going to California in the San Diego region, and I am stoked. On the naval base, the 250th anniversary for the U.S. Navy.
That is so neat.
The way that this collaboration has come together, Ben talked about it on the broadcast over the weekend. He's like, we definitely reached out to them first. We wanted to do this. We wanted to be there, and this. If you haven't seen this social promotion on the NASCAR account, go check it out because it was hilarious.
Yes.
This was well thought out and one of the better promotions that NASCAR has done. This was really a really cool ad. But man, the thought behind this and the timing of all this and, Chicago being, not going to be on the schedule as far as the street race goes, but nobody does it better. Nobody does it better with our ties to the military than NASCAR and our group, and always on the front of everybody's mind and honoring the military at just about every race that we go to, and to be able to see this event, this is great, and everything about it is first class and going to be a great event. So I can't wait.
I've been getting text messages from friends from San Diego.
Yeah.
Since the rumors started.
Yes.
They were like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm hearing it too right now. I don't know.
Huge win for NASCAR.
Yeah. Caitlin, your boy NASCAR Chasm he had a nice little post out there.
A little funny about
if you missed a corner and you drive off
the
end of the
Yeah, we hope that won't happen.
Yeah, we hope not.
This will be a marquee event, something to really look forward to next year. Creative ideas, just love the creativity.
I love the creativity.
There it is. Here it is. There it is.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
See ya.
It is super important because it shows that we're not afraid, and you can't be afraid.
You can't screw up the street race. You can take it anywhere, but this is over the top.
Well done.
As far as win and location and timing.
Yep. Love it. So looking forward to that next year. Going to turn the clocks back a little bit. So Brian Keselowski, who was a grinder of the NASCAR industry, back in the day, he ran I think it was like 2000 and, I want to say 13.
Hey, this is your sip. You got to know all the details here.
Hey, calm down. It's my sip. I'm going to run it how I can.
Okay, go.
He told a story this week on the RFK podcast about how he entered this race. Let's hear it.
I went to Evernham's and bought it for $5,000 as they were doing that switch over to Gillette. I bought the motor from Ernie Elliott 2 years before then. I bought one set of tires and I ran that same set of tires, practice qualifying the entire 150. And when I got done, it almost didn't look like you did anything to those tires because the track was such a nice pave job. Roger Penske came to us with the discount tire sponsorship for the race. And then Ray Evernham come over after he heard that it was one of his old cars, still had Evernham Motorsports on it, and he bought all my tires for that weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I love this story about just figuring it out. And then once you figure out, the industry recognizes it and gives you props. Like, I couldn't race unless it was for guys like Bubba, Ryan, Ricky Stenhouse, Kevin, Tony Stewart, Kyle Larson. All these guys have given me an opportunity because I saw the work ethic and how much I loved it. And they're like, I'll buy you a set of tires.
Yeah.
I'll do that. And I love that. And I wanted to make sure I gave Brian.
Yeah. And I think that hearing those stories is great because that's how this industry works. And I remember back at KHI when we took Morgan Shepherd's car for a handful of races and just brought it to our shop. I said, just buy the tires, set that guy's car up and try to make him run faster. And, that's what happens in our industry when, people help each other. And you hear all those stories back in the day when, the guys talking about taking Hendrick Motorsports team building shocks for Dale Earnhardt and so that they could try to win the championship. Those are the things that we heard that from Ray Evernham. And those are the things that happen inside of our industry.
It makes it great.
It's so good stories,
it's full community, right?
That's right.
It is a great community. And it is a community.
It
is a community.
It is a community.
Yes, it is.
I love my people.
Yep.
So
I'm with you.
During the race, so Tyler Reddick's Jackman, he had a replacement Jackman this weekend. His style of hanging the tire is different than anyone I've ever seen. He is one-handing, Kevin, planting the tire with one hand while he's still holding the jack in the other hand.
He's a dog, as you would say.
Dog.
That's impressive.
The strength of these pit crew guys is pretty awesome. And
It really
these guys can do things that normal people can't do. And that's why you see all these athletes show up from different sports. But the evolution of all this just keeps changing.
Fast.
It keeps changing fast. And it just keeps getting harder and harder because somebody comes up with something new and, that strength level goes to a new level and the agility and the strength and all those things tied together. The quality of those positions just changes dramatically.
So the thing I think about that is when you talk about NFL draft, NBA draft, they talk about the measurables.
Yeah.
And so for him to be able to do that, his hand has to be, I don't know, like twice the size of mine. Like you have to have this grip and like to be able to do the things that they're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I love seeing it. I think it's really
Now
cool.
we'll
And that's
see
what
others.
pushes some of these guys out,
Yeah.
to be critics on the internet and, try to get some attention that way instead of doing what they're supposed to do on pit road.
Just do your
Others
job.
will probably try to duplicate this now,
Yeah.
see if they can't do that
But
as
that's
well.
what pushes the last generation out.
Yeah, I mean, it's evolution, right? They push someone else out. Now
That's exactly right.
that's how we go. We keep moving. Guys, Bristol. We all love Bristol.
Yes.
There's been a lot of reasons to love Bristol, but this one may take the cake.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. All right, so in 2025, this year, the MLB Speedway Classic is heading to Bristol Motor Speedway on August 2nd. The Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds will face off in a regular season showdown. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
Super cool.
I am stoked to watch this thing. We had Marcus on not too long ago, and he talked about putting a dome over Bristol as his crescendo of something he wants to do. Marcus, brother, I got to tell you, this is pretty high up there.
I went to the announcement of this game and man, to see it done and see the field in there and see everything that they actually said that they were going to do. Not that I didn't think they were going to do it,
But when you
but
see
to
it, it's
see it
different.
all, when you see it all for the first time, it is impressive. And the type of events, and this is the thing that the Smith family has done for a long time, not being scared to do something like this, but this will be fun. I can't wait to see the highlights.
The college football game when they did Virginia Tech game there was a huge success. So it's cool to see them being like, okay, now what can we do next?
Could you imagine WrestleMania there?
Oh, that would be sweet.
Marcus mentioned that.
Oh,
and
my
wanted to have
God.
WrestleMania in the infield at Bristol Motor Speedway.
That would
Okay,
break.
that
That would have
definitely
to
needs
break
to happen.
records.
Yeah.
That would have to break all types of
I'd
records.
love to body slam you. That'd be fun.
Marcus, get us on there. I'm
WrestleMania.
done. If I can get a reason to smack Kevin, I'm in.
Jeez. All right, there you go.
Yeah. Hey,
Just make sure you wear your walking boot.
oh, calm down. You can't. I'm an athlete.
keep
You
going.
can't keep up with me.
You're not done yet.
No, what? What do you mean I'm not done yet?
Is that
You
all you
gotta
got?
leave. No, we're gonna tell you when to leave a voicemail.
Yep,
Okay.
tell them.
Yeah.
Tell 'em.
Yeah.
We got 3
805
minutes, so let's go.
317-4175 and leave an email, harvickhappyhour4@gmail.com.
All right.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario, new customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/audio. NASCAR is not responsible for this promotion and used under license.
Let's take a look at the best bet of the weekend, courtesy
It was
of
a good one.
DraftKings.
Yeah, a good one last week. Bubba Wallace was plus 1,100. So if you bet on Bubba Wallace, you made some money last week. But take the checkered flag with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Harvick. That's code Harvick for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
And the
Hell
crown
yeah.
was Bubba's.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the Bubba burnout?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got
okay.
Extra points for the emotional.
The emotion was over
Yeah.
the top.
The
Yeah.
celebration.
The celebration as a whole.
The celebration as a whole was great.
Mhm.
Burnout was not Lane Riggs.
Yeah.
Lane
okay.
Riggs was awesome.
Lane Riggs, brother, I know, Caitlin said it. You must be watching the show.
Absolutely.
Because Kevin's been asking somebody to do this.
Finally.
For
Fire,
a couple
we got
of years.
fire.
And he said the only way we can do it is if we have the mud flaps. And he was right. Because Lane
Yes.
Riggs burned it down and then
Yeah.
he got
And then
up
he
next
went
to
there
it.
and
Yeah.
tried to fan the flame.
And you know the amazing part is we leave these mud flaps on there and we keep letting them burn. So obviously they're freaking flammable. So I
Yes.
guess, they're making drivers take their stickers off their headrests and doing all kinds of goofy stuff for flammable items. But we've seen the mud flaps burn every time that somebody does a burnout like that, but it sure looks cool.
It looks
Well,
awesome,
yeah.
and maybe that's why.
Looks cool.
Well done, Lane Riggs.
That's
Lane
right.
Riggs. So does Lane Riggs? Is it still SVG, or is now because Lane Riggs caught it on fire, Kevin? Does he get there?
Truckers get kudos.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a cup evaluation.
Good job, Lane.
I will
Yeah.
say the
Good
last
job.
year Kevin let
Xfinity.
You'd be in the
Xfinity
race,
guy-
but you know.
All right, let's move
Tough
on.
guys, if you're paying attention, burn your car down.
We're getting yelled at. I
Yeah.
can tell Caitlin's getting yelled at to
Yeah.
get us out of here.
We got Mark Martin on the docket. All right, picks, guys. Who we picking for Iowa? I'll go first to move this ball along. Christopher Bell.
All right, I'll take Ryan Blaney.
Okay.
That's a
I
good
like
choice.
it.
Yeah.
What you
I'm
got?
gonna go with Josh Berry.
Last man
Josh
Larry with Josh
no,
Berry.
sorry. Ryan Priest. Ryan Priest.
Ryan Priest.
Ryan Priest.
Okay.
Okay, I like that.
Well,
He's 41 below.
And
That
you
would
do
be
have
awesome.
a new nickname.
42.
Last place, Larry.
Yeah, there you go. We
Yep.
did address this earlier. But as I mentioned, big interview coming up.
Yeah, we've got Mark Martin. It's been a fun stretch of people just with all the old stories, and had Skinner on, and Mark's been in the news lately too
Yes,
about
he
points. So
has.
maybe we should talk to him about point standings.
Yeah,
Ask him how
championship
much-
formats.
Ask him how much he misses me.
Yeah.
Don't ask that.
I will.
You know, that's-
Yeah.
All right, guys. Episode 50. It's been fun. We'll see everybody here on Happy Hour after Iowa. See ya.